This is how to beat the Paradox Junction Easter Egg on solo. This will go over all the headset parts, how to easily do every step, and a good loadout for the boss fight as well. If this video helps you, help me back in return by dropping a like on the video, and subscribe to help us get to 50,000 subscribers. Before we jump in the game, let's go over our class setup. The main gun that you want to run is the M34 Nova line. There are other really good guns for the Easter Egg like the SG-12, but I feel like the Nova line is probably your best bet all around. Here's the build code for mine so you can copy and paste it in your game. Now for Gobblegums, if you want to run the OP stuff, you can run stuff like Raindrops, Perkaholic, Armageddon, Hidden Power, and Gift Card. But regardless if you want to run that or not, everybody should run a pack with the likes of Power Keg, Shields Up, and Idolize for the boss fight. Finally, let's go over our augments. If you have any of the following augments unlocked, be sure to put them on. For Stamina Up, you want to run Guns Up, Quarterback, and Hotfoot. For Quick Revive, run Equivalent Exchange. For Juggernog, run Turtle Shell, Hardened Plates, and Durable Plates. For Speed Cola, run Supercharge, Fast Pitcher, and Prestidigitation. For Vulture Raid, run Armormatic, Picky Eater, and Carry On Luggage. For Death Perception, run Sixth Sense. For PhD, run either PhD Slider or Dr. Ram, and also Stuntman and Environmentalist. For Mule Kick, this one is important. Run Multi-Pack, Fully Equipped, and BOGO. All of these augments are extremely helpful. For Deadshot, run Deadhead, Dead Draw, and Dead Break. For Double Tap, run Double Time and Double or Nothing. For Elemental Pop, run Citrus Focus, Chill Berry, and Vulnerable Bean. And for Wisp T, run Mask of Salvation, Zombie Sitter, and either Extension or Fetcher. Now moving on to the ammo mods for Brain Rot, if you have it, run Caustic Fumes, then Super Serum and Extension. And finally for Ether Shroud, if you're on co-op, run Group Shroud, but if you're on solo, run After Image, Extra Charge, and Impulse. The first thing you want to do when you spawn in the game is in Destroyed Nuketown, go behind the yellow house and grab the truck keys from the zombie. Now you just want to get points and go through the rounds until you get past your first special round. After you complete your first special round, the game will automatically teleport you to the normal Nuketown. In the center part of the map, you want to come up to this truck right here and interact with it to put the truck keys in it to move it. Doing so will unlock the rest of the street. Now if you go to the very end of the street, you will see the Pack-a-Punch machine here with 4 yellow orbs. You want to shoot one of the 4 orbs until it spawns 3 zombies on the ground and kill these zombies, and at this point the 3 remaining orbs will come back and you just want to rinse and repeat. Once you destroy all 4 orbs, Pack-a-Punch will be open. Now the Pack-a-Punch is unlocked, the next thing you need to do is get the Blundergat and the Sundergat. To get the normal Blundergat, you have to get 4 parts. The first of which is actually in normal Nuketown. You want to go to the top floor of the yellow house, and in the bottom shelf of the stand near the window, you can grab the sealant. To get the next couple parts, you have to go back to Destroyed Nuketown, and just so you know, anytime in this map you have to switch from one Nuketown to another, you can do so by interacting with this portal behind the truck in the middle. The first of which is the barrel. All around Destroyed Nuketown are these yellow cysts. Kill 10 zombies near one, and that'll drop some loot. Keep feeding these cysts that are located all around Destroyed Nuketown, which includes the entire street, and eventually one of the cysts will drop the barrel. Pick it up, and that's the second part you need. Now, staying in Destroyed Nuketown, we're going to do the last 2 parts at the same time. For the first part we'll go for, you want to visit these 3 locations, and near one of them you will hear this humming sound. The 3 locations are at the top of the stairs in a greenhouse, and the yellow house's garage, and to the right of Pack-a-Punch, near where the Wonder Fizz will spawn. Remember the location you hear this for later. Now for the 4th and final part, in the top floor of the yellow house is a vial here on this desk. Grab it, then go to the bottom floor of the greenhouse and place it in the sink and pick it back up. This will give you 3 uses of a chemical. You want to run up to every single mannequin until eventually, when you stand near one, it'll play the exact same humming sound that you heard by the wall. And now that you found the mannequin and the wall that are humming, go to normal Nuketown and go up to that same mannequin that hummed in your game and interact with it to melt it. Once your specific mannequin has a melted effect like this, go to the same wall that was humming for you and throw an explosive at it to break it. Once you've done both of these, return to Destroyed Nuketown and revisit that wall and that mannequin, and you should be able to grab the last 2 parts. Now that you have all 4 parts to build it, in Destroyed Nuketown, buy the truck in the center where the Galvaknuckles would be, and melee this bench and place all 4 parts in it and craft it to get the Blundergat. You'll also have to get the Sundergat for this Easter egg as well. In my opinion, this is definitely the most annoying part of this. You want to stay in Destroyed Nuketown for 2 rounds in a row, and eventually a zombie will spawn here with a fire tornado like so. The 3 locations this zombie can spawn are behind the greenhouse, behind the yellow house, and to the right of Pack-a-Punch where the Wonder Fizz will spawn right here. Now before you approach this zombie, get to the last zombie in the round and also get decoys if you want to play this super safe. When you're ready, go up to this zombie in the fire tornado and he will come into the map and he will wander towards the Blundergat bench. You have to take him to the Blundergat bench and kill him near it with the Blundergat. It has to be with the Blundergat. If other zombies are around this zombie, then he will weaken and die pretty quickly, which is why I said to get to the last zombie. The easiest way I found to do this is to get to the last zombie and spawn the fire zombie in, and then as soon as he lowers goes into the map, take the last normal zombie away from him, and walk the fire zombie towards the Blundergat bench. Once he's here, kill him with the Blundergat, and now you have to go to the next round to spawn another one in. And just so you know, while you're doing this step, you will most likely get your second dog round. And if this happens, then the game will automatically teleport you back to normal Nuketown at the end of the round, and you have to go back to destroyed Nuketown and flip to the next round to continue with this step. So at this point, go to the next round and another one will spawn in, and same thing with it. Get to the last zombie, get him into the map, and lure him to the Blundergat bench and kill him with the Blundergat. And for the third and final fire zombie, you want to do the same thing, get to the last zombie and spawn him in, but this time, this fire zombie will turn into a mimic. Aside from him being a mimic, it's the exact same thing. Take him to the Blundergat bench and kill him with the Blundergat, and once you do all three, go to normal Nuketown and melee the Blundergat bench and place it in, and return to destroyed Nuketown and go back to the bench and pick back up the Blundergat to get the Sundergat. This thing has two attacks. You can fire it normally, or you can charge it up for a few seconds to take out more zombies with one shot. Now that you have the Sundergat, we can finally start the main quest. The first thing you need to find is an RCXD controller. The 3 locations for it are all in destroyed Nuketown, and the first is in the very back of the greenhouse leaning on this fence, and the yellow house's garage on this shelf, and to the right of Pack-a-Punch on these dirt piles. If you can't see it though, just hold interact in all 3 of these locations and eventually you will get a black screen and you will be put in an RC car outside the playable area. You have to drive this RC car up this ramp, then over here to this ramp, and once you're at the top of this one, you want to angle yourself just right so you can jump inside this fence, and once you are, jump the RC car over the fence, and now you can drive it in this hole and up to this barrel near the garage door and explode it to open it. You gotta be quick with this though, because if you take longer than like 30 seconds to do this, then you will have to flip around and check all 3 of these locations again to try again, because this controller will move. Once you explode the barrel though, you can go to the garage to the left of the Pack-a-Punch machine and there will be a statue here. Wait for a bit and it'll go away and you can pick up the chalk that it drops. For the next part, you gotta go back to normal Nuketown, and behind the yellow house you want to shoot this swing seat here and pick it up. Now return back to destroyed Nuketown and place the swing seat in the exact same spot and interact with it again to place the chalk. Doing so will trigger the twins to spawn. After their cutscene, there are now 3 minigames you have to play to get in the boss fight. The first one we'll cover is the Hopscotch game. Staying in destroyed Nuketown, come inside the yellow house garage and interact with this red toolbox to open it. If you're having trouble opening it, then you should be able to crouch and interact, and that should work. Once it's open, pick up the plant seeds inside and go to normal Nuketown. Go near Pack-a-Punch and to the left of it will be a hole that you can place the seed. This will start a soul box in which you have to fill with Sundergat kills. Once it's done and you get a flash, grab a tomahawk from the crafting bench and return to the same spot, but this time in destroyed Nuketown. There will now be a green tree here, and you want to throw your tomahawk at it 3 times to pick up the 3 pieces of wood and return back to normal Nuketown, and inside the yellow house, place the wood in this fireplace. Now you have to get a Molotov and throw it at the wood to light it on fire with a green flame. Once it's lit, go back to destroyed Nuketown, and to the right of Pack-a-Punch where the Wonder Fizzle spawn will be an X. Stand on it for a second until it lights blue, and once it does, go back to normal Nuketown in the same spot and the twins will spawn. After they disappear, you can interact with this orb here to start a game of Hopscotch. To beat this minigame, you want to jump from 1 to 12 going in order, so 1, 2, 3, and so on, all the way up to 12, and then back down from 12 to 1, and while you're doing this, you have to avoid touching this black square or jumping outside of the chalk drawing. The black square will move from 11 to 1 every couple seconds, and once the black square reaches 1, it'll go back to 11 and rinse and repeat. So the best way to do this is to jump on as many squares as possible and then time it just right so you jump into the square that the black square was just in while it's moving out of it. And by doing that, you should be able to avoid it, and you can jump the next couple and just rinse and repeat. If you do stand in the black square, then it will fail, but thankfully, you can just retry this in the same round. Just wait like 40 seconds and you can try again. Once you get the rhythm down though, this is pretty easy to do, and once you get back to 1, you will finish the minigame and there will now be a yellow music box. This step is an escort soul box that you have to keep charging specifically with Sundergat kills to get it to move. As far as I know, you can run away from this thing for a bit and you won't fail. So as long as you get kills near it, then you can move away from it for a bit if you're about to die or something, and return back to it once it's safe. Another huge tip I know, and this might get patched later, I'll leave a pinned comment if it does, but if you get a horde of zombies and pop Ether Shroud into the horde while the Sundergat is in your hands, then every zombie that dies from Ether Shroud will count as a Sundergat kill. So this is a very easy way to get a ton of Sundergat kills without even using the Sundergat. Once you get enough kills, it'll go to the fireplace in the yellow house and give you a flash and a max ammo. At this point, you are now done with the Hopscotch challenge. For the next challenge, you need Brain Rot. Now you want to go to destroyed Nuketown and hang out in the backyard of the greenhouse, and randomly, but most of the time at the start of the round, a piano teacher with a dress and glasses will spawn. You want to use Brain Rot to turn this piano zombie and follow her inside the greenhouse to the piano. Once he's here, you want to hurry up and teleport to normal Nuketown and visit the piano in the exact same spot. As long as you were fast enough and you got here before she despawned, then she should still be here and the piano will now open. Now you want to go back to destroyed Nuketown, and there are 8 music notes around the map that will flash a random number of times from 1 to 8, and then it will stop flashing before repeating it the same number of times. Take note of each note's location and how many times each note flashes, because to beat this step, you want to grab these notes in the order from the one that blinks the lowest all the way to the highest, so starting with the one that blinks once, then twice, all the way up to 8 times. Right now I'm going to show you all 8 locations for them, and if you mess this up, then as soon as you grab one in the wrong order, your character will say something bad, and all 8 notes will disappear, and you'll have to go to the next round to try again. Thankfully though, the notes will spawn in the exact same order when they reappear, so if you wrote down which location flashed a certain number of times, then you can just go back up to them and try it again. Once you grab all 8 in the correct order, you can go back to normal Nuketown and return to the piano, and all 8 notes should be on the wall here. Now you can interact with this piano and enter the code 867565535, and that should play a piano sound and kick you out of the piano. Now return to destroyed Nuketown, and behind either the greenhouse or the yellow house will be 3 floating zombies outside of the map. You want to shoot these 3 zombies so they send orbs into the map. Once you shoot the 3 floating zombies, return back to normal Nuketown, and behind the truck you moved at the start of the game will be another X. After the twins disappear, you can interact with this ball to start the next minigame. In this game, you have to stand in this blue circle, and this ball in the middle here will bounce up and down, and on every other bounce, it'll spawn a set of zombies. The first set will have 2 zombies, the second set will have 3, the third one will have 4, and the last one has 5. These zombies will bounce in the air at the same time as the ball. You have to kill all of these zombies while they're in the air before the ball lands back on the ground without shooting the ball. If you don't kill them before they land, or you shoot the ball here, then you will fail this challenge, and again, you have to wait like 40 seconds before you can try again. If you use your red gun, then this is pretty easy to do. After you do all 4 phases, a music sheet will spawn. Same thing as before, you want to fill it with Sundergat kills to move it, and it'll go through the greenhouse garage and up the back steps, and down the inside stairs to finish at the piano. Once it does, you will get the flash and a max ammo, and you will beat this step. Now for the final mini game, to start it, you have to grab 2 parts in destroyed Nuketown. And to get these 2 parts, you need 2 perks, those being Death Perception and Wisp T. The first part you need are some headphones, and they have 3 spawn locations. They'll either spawn behind these trash cans in front of the greenhouse, upstairs in the greenhouse on these coat hooks right here, and in the very back of the yellow house, and they'll spawn in this mannequin's hand. You'll only be able to see these headphones if you have Death Perception, so make sure you have it. Once you get the headphones, the second part you need are some goggles. These goggles will always spawn on the pole directly to the left of the Pack-a-Punch machine. Shoot them off the pole so they fall on the ground, then get Wisp T to activate, and while it's active, stand near these goggles so Wisp T can grab them and bring them in the map for you. Once you have both parts, go to normal Nuketown and interact with this toy chest behind the movable truck and place these 2 items inside it. Now you can go back to destroyed Nuketown, and now you have to look for a ball. This ball can spawn on the back side of the yellow house roof, on this crate near Pack-a-Punch, and apparently it can also spawn on this roof, but in my 10 games of testing, I was never able to get this ball to spawn outside of the first 2 locations. So if I missed one and I find out about it, or if y'all tell me I missed one, then I will tell you exactly where this ball can spawn in the pinned comment down below. So if you can't find it, be sure to check there. Once you find it though, shoot the ball to make it glow blue, and now you want to shoot it towards a greenhouse backyard. If something happens that you accidentally hit it outside the map, that's totally fine. Just wait around 30 seconds and it'll respawn on one of these locations. Once you get it near the greenhouse backyard, pull out your knife and melee it so you can get the ball on this X. Once it is, the X will glow blue, and now you can return to normal Nuketown in the same spot, and you can start your third and final minigame, this being Foursquare. Pull out your knife and interact with the ball to start the minigame. Melee the ball to bounce it to another square. Then get behind the ball again and melee it again. Your goal is to bounce the ball between the 4 squares without it bouncing in the same square twice in a row. If it does, then you'll fail and you can retry it in 40 seconds. Once you do this for like 30 seconds though, you will beat the minigame, and now the symbols will spawn. And for the final time, get Sundergat kills near this thing and escort it through the middle of the map and to the toy chest. Once you do, you will get a flash and a max ammo, and now there's just one more step to do. Go back to destroyed Nuketown, and above the greenhouse is the Nuketown clock. You want to shoot both the hour hand and the minute hand so they're both on 0, and when both hands are on 0, you want to start the teleport animation to go back to normal Nuketown, and while it's charging, you want to look back on the clock and shoot either hand stand on it to move it again, and if you did it right, then you should hear a success sound, and now a blue orb will travel from the middle of the map to the piano and spawn in the twins, and then to the toy chest, then to the fireplace, and then finally to the swing. Once the twins are at the swing, it is now time for the boss fight, so do not interact with them. For this boss fight, make sure you get your Nova Line tier 3 Pack-a-Punched in gold rarity, and if you got rid of it, put Brain Rot back on your Nova Line. You can also Pack-a-Punch your Sundergat a few times if you feel like it, but I don't think this thing is particularly helpful in this boss fight. Obviously, get all your perks, get tier 3 armor and max plates, and this is important, make sure you get 3 Casimirs. These Casimirs will help a lot in this boss fight, and while you're at the crafting bench, get a death machine as well. This will help you a lot in the final phase. Get a self-revive if you went down, and for your Gobblegums run Power Keg, Shields Up, and Idolize. And one final thing, if you're on solo, make sure you have the option to save and quit. That way, in case you mess up in the boss fight, you can save and quit out of there, and you can load back to try again. If you save and quit though, make sure you both get another self-revive, and flip to the next round so you can save and quit again. When you have all this ready though, interact with the twins, and after 10 seconds, you'll be teleported to the boss fight. To beat this boss fight, there are 3 phases. To beat phase 1, you want to go to the center street, behind the greenhouse, and behind the yellow house, and there will be assists at all 3 of these locations. What you want to do is fill up the assist with 10 zombie souls, just like you did for the Blundergat, and once you do, you'll remove this mound thing and reveal the objects. And also, don't worry about the heart boss yet. He can't attack you yet. Once you do this for all 3 and reveal the objects, the twins will spawn at the one that you're currently at, and will form a blue bubble around them. You have to protect the twins for 30 seconds to beat this. If you fail to protect them, then it'll instantly restart that one, and as far as I'm aware, there is no penalty for failing this. The easiest way to defend it though, is to use your Nova Line as long as you can, and once you start to get overwhelmed, throw a Casimir near it, and that should make it so you can finish defending it. Once you finish defending it, the orb will float out of it and go to another object. Follow the orb there, and again, defend it for 30 seconds, and do the same thing for the third and final object. Once you defend all 3 for 30 seconds each, the orbs will fly into the air and hit the heart boss to reveal 3 weak points that you have to shoot. While you're shooting the weak points, the boss will shoot fireballs at you just like Altheris, and also spawn fire tornadoes. Neither of these attacks are that powerful, but still, you should try to avoid them. Just train the zombies in a circle in the middle of the map, and shoot the heart's 3 glowing weak points until you break 2 of them like this. Once you do enough damage, the heart will once again be immune, and you will get a max ammo and max armor in front of the greenhouse, and you're now on phase 2. Phase 2 is the exact same as phase 1, except this time, instead of doing the Blundergat assists, you have to shoot the yellow orbs above these mound things and take out the zombies they spawn, just like you did when you unlock Pack-a-Punch. So break the orb and kill the zombies they spawn, and once you kill them, that object will reappear. Do this in the same 3 locations, and again, once all 3 are revealed, you want to defend each of them for 30 seconds when the twins are inside. In this phase, the heart can now do the fireball attack while you're defending them, so keep that in mind. After you defend all 3, you can damage the heart's 3 weak points again. Once you break 2 weak points and do enough damage, you'll get another max ammo and max armor, and now you're on the third and final phase. In phase 3, mimics will start spawning, which is why I told you to run Brain Rot. To beat this phase, zombies will spawn in the dead center of the map in the fire tornadoes just like they did for the Sundergat, and you have to escort these zombies to each of the 3 mounds and make sure that they don't attach themselves to any other zombies to weaken themselves. If they do attach to other zombies, you want to kill all the zombies that attach to them, or else this fire zombie will die. And if they die, then you have to wait like 20 to 30 seconds and another fire zombie will spawn. The easiest way I found to do this is to use the death machine and kill any zombies in front of it, but make sure you don't shoot the fire zombie yet. Once you get a fire zombie to a mound, check and make sure they attach themselves to it like so, and once they do, kill the fire zombie, and if done right, their soul should get rid of this and reveal the object. So now you gotta do this 2 more times at the other 2, and now you gotta defend the twins at all 3 objects again. Only difference this time is, the heart boss can now shoot both the fireballs and fire tornadoes on this step, so just keep that in mind. But once you defend all 3, again, go in the middle and shoot the heart's weak points, and make sure you don't run into the fire tornadoes. And also, don't forget that you have Shields Up, Power Keg for another Ether Shroud, and Idolize if you need it. Just remember though, when you pop Idolize, the boss's attacks will still go for you. This just makes it so none of the zombies will. Regardless though, once you shoot the weak points enough, you will take out the heart, and with that, you have successfully beaten Paradox Junction's Easter egg. If I was able to help, be sure to drop a like, and also subscribe to help us get to 50,000 subscribers. Shout out to my members, thank you guys so much for supporting me, and shout out to the new members, Ava One Shot and Miki Deeki. Thank you all so much for becoming a member. If you want to become a member and get access to a ton of awesome perks, then click the join button down below or the link in the description. Click here to go watch my other BO7 guides, and with that being said, I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.